Hi Aries, this is your March 2018 reading with the Astro. I'm trying to make my videos a little longer. Let me know, give me feedback. Let's jump into the astrology segment. Oh yeah, and by the way, I'm back on video, so you get to see me again. Aries, you have a full moon in the area of your 6th house. All about your health, work, and day-to-day activities. So, all of a sudden you may get really busy at work. You may get really busy with the day-to-day things that you need to do. Your schedule will be very packed. Hopefully that should be a good thing for you because Aries likes to keep busy. If Aries doesn't have something to do, Aries gets bored. And when Aries gets bored, Aries picks fights. So, you might be very happy with that. You're very productive, very busy, and which could mean more money coming in for you, and which Aries does not like money. Aries likes to achieve. Aries is all about this Mars energy. It's all about making money, being productive, being career focused. On the 17th of March, you have your new moon in your 12th house. New ways of thinking, new levels of consciousness for you, Aries. Last month, I'm a Virgo. Last month I had a shift in, I believe it was a full moon in my 12th house. And I started to realize that I was doing things, the way I was thinking, I decided to rearrange certain ways I was thinking as a Virgo. And having my sun in the 12th house, which means that I'm a Virgo who was very Piscean in nature, which means I like to keep to myself. I'm into occult things, and what I realized is I do a lot of daydreaming. That's how I escape my life, and that's how Pisces is all about escaping. And having my sun in the 12th house is Pisces. I do lots of escaping through daydreaming. It's called autistic fantasy. I never realized I was doing that until I had a full moon in my 12th house. Well, yours is a new moon in the 12th house. But until I had a full moon in my 12th house, I realized, what am I doing? I am wasting all this time daydreaming, trying to escape reality. This is what is going on, and this is what I need to focus on. And I just switched. I just realized that my way of thinking was just totally it's just not being productive. I'm wasting all this time escaping reality. And I never realized I was doing it until January, the end of January. And I'm in my 30s. So you may come across something like that where you might decide, oh wow, I want to reshape the way I'm thinking. I want to be more productive. I want to be more conscious of my way in relationships. I want to be more conscious of my way at work. I want to be more spiritual, because 12th house is all about spirituality. So you might have big shifts in your spiritual practices, maybe going to church, maybe changing your religion. And so it's something new when it comes to your level of consciousness, Aries. Now, Aries is a lover of, I think Aries is hedonistic, and they're very physical. I don't mean to offend anybody. So having a new beginning in your level of consciousness and spirituality should take you out of being hedonistic and very physical oriented and very earth and Mars and career and athletic and sexual, and take you to a different level, which is good. I think balance is good. So on the 31st of March, in the latter part of the month, we have full moon in Libra. Something major is going to happen in terms of your relationships or business relationships. So you might have somebody new coming into your life, or you may have an existing relationship that you might decide to make anew, to change something in it. And maybe this might be linked to your 12th house. So you might have a change in consciousness about how you deal with your lovers, how you deal with your business partners. Aries can tend to be aggressive. They can tend to step on people's toes. They can tend to be selfish. And their life's purpose is to realize that the other person is important. The other person makes a contribution. And it's not all about you. It's not all about the baby complex. It's not all about you getting throwing tantrums every time you don't get what you want. If I meet somebody else's needs, then they will help me to meet my needs as well. And I think this month, Aries, that's probably what's happening with you. Maybe you'll be so jam-packed with things. You'll have somebody come into your life who's going to give you that love and give you that help. And they might confront you on you using them or you being selfish with them. And then you start realizing, wow, I didn't realize I was so selfish. I thought everybody was like this. I didn't realize that I was having a tantrum. I'm always having tantrums. I didn't realize I was mentally being a 5-year-old. No offense, but that's basically what it is. It's very important to love yourself and to do for yourself and to be selfish, because as a Virgo, I've had to learn that. I've been too selfless. So I've been learning how to be an Aries. But it's also not good to not realize the other contribution the other party is making. And I believe this month for you is going to bring in that focus. Because guess what I'm seeing? Mercury retrograde in your first house. The way you identify yourself, you're going to have to revisit that. Do you like what you see when you look in the mirror? Physically and spiritually, do you like that image, that identity that you've created? And how are you miscommunicating these images and that identity to people? You know what I mean? Like, people might be thinking that you're selfish and that you're hedonistic, and maybe you're really not, but your actions are being perceived that way, and then you're learning how to change the way you deal with others in relationships so that they can see the real you, the real naivety within you, the real probably lack of understanding about what the other person is thinking. The ability to do things and not realize that the harm is causing. Aries is the baby. You don't know. You fall over the building and you just didn't know that you would fall off. Because you didn't know that at the end of the building is a fall. Because the baby doesn't know. The baby's just doing things. So Aries, this is where the energies are for you this month. Lots of things going on. Busy, busy, busy. A change in the way that you view yourself. Clearing up miscommunications with your identity and how that affects relationships. So, Aries, let's check out your actual tarot reading and see how these energies are actually represented on the cards, and what new energies are represented on the cards. Hi, Aries. So, back to you. The situation at hand is you thinking ahead. Aries is usually in the present, but Aries is looking in the future this month. Aries is focused on work. Aries is focused on how what you do today is going to bring you, where it's going to bring you 10 years from now. Aries is focused on how maybe their relationships today are they going to make it in the long run? Are these people that you're surrounded with worth hanging on to? Is there a future? And what do you need to do to change yourself and to improve yourself and to grow, that's going to help to improve your life in the next 10 years? That's what Aries is focused on. Aries is focused on the future. There are decisions to be made, Aries. That's what's crossing you. You need to make changes. You need to make changes within yourself, within your relationships, within your work schedules. Maybe giving more time to your relationships and less time to work. Oh no, I can feel that hurting you, Aries, because Aries is a Mars sign. Aries is all about career. But these are decisions that you may need to make. In the past, There were decisions that had to be made in terms of your money, in terms of value in relationships. Were you valuing yourself more than your partner? And if you were valuing yourself more than your partner, how did you expect this person to stay with you? Love has to be equal, Aries. It has to be you and that person loving each other equally, giving and receiving, not you just taking. Because Aries knows how to value themselves. So that is not the issue. The issue is, were you valuing the other person? Were you valuing the other co-workers? Were you valuing your employees? Making a decision to make a change, Aries. We can see that you were hurt in the past. These decisions that were made, this decision that had to be made in terms of maybe you not valuing others, hurt you. Because although you were not valuing others, you didn't realize that you were hurting them. You just knew you were valuing you. And sometimes people have not progressed along the path of selfishness. It is a good path. Self-love comes first before any other type of love. If you can't love yourself, you can't love others. So definitely, Aries, you're on the right path. But some other people who've not learned to love themselves, you can tend to seem narcissistic to them. You may seem hedonistic, narcissistic, like you're all out to step on everybody else. But if you're playing with somebody who's unequal, who also knows how to love themselves, then you're playing with a partner. Then they're loving themselves, you're loving yourself, and y'all are deciding to live your lives together. The same goes for career, the same goes for your employees as well. If everybody knows how to love themselves, then they either enter into contracts with you based on the fact that you're giving them value, and if they feel you don't give them value, then they walk away. So in the past, you were either hurting somebody and being narcissistic to somebody, without you even realizing it. You were just taking care of yourself, and this other person did not know how to take care of themselves. This person didn't have boundaries. This person did not have standards. You could have also been hurt because you didn't realize that you were causing all these problems. You were just standing in your own self-love. You didn't realize that there are people who were not able to do that. Some people actually prey on others. Maybe some Aries people were preying on others, but I know Aries also likes to defend. So I think they're honestly naive about any hurt that they were causing. And if communication is given correctly to an Aries and they really understand where you're coming from, they would refrain from doing it, because Aries likes to stand up for the underdog. But because their energy is so strong, they can tend to hurt others. And them hurting others, when they realize that they've hurt others, it hurts them because they have big hearts. They're like children. You are like a child. So you have all these different options on how you can change yourself for the better, and how you can proceed in the future, and how you can start a proper romantic outlook, a proper career outlook with this new changed you. This person who is changing the way that they are being perceived, the way that they are loving in relationships, and the way that they are managing and leading in career. And you're working very hard. You're working very hard on moving forward with this new attitude. But it doesn't come easy, Aries. As we will see with the cards moving forward. You see that you're trying to be strong. But doing something that you're not accustomed of doing, trying to think of the other person and not just yourself, is hard. You're not a Libra. You're not a Libra. You're trying to heal. You're trying to heal the pain that's going on with you, that's causing you to put yourself first and not to think about others. Maybe you were hurt in the past. And you said, and you vowed to yourself, you know what? I'm never going to value somebody more than myself. That has happened to me. I think I'm in that space right now where I'm thinking, it's all about me. Because for so long it's been about other people. So now I just want it to be about me. But I think for presently, Aries, you're probably above the timeline and above my timeline. And now you're realizing, wow, this is a bit skewed. I need to be balanced. I can't just be loving me. I'm living in a world with 7 billion people. and I deal with people on a daily basis. So I can't just step over people. I need to be able to love myself and be able to also love and respect other people equally. And so you're trying to heal those wounds that you've had in the past. But you're scared that you're going to get hurt again, and so you really feel conflicted inside with your thoughts. You feel very conflicted. You feel trapped because change is not easy. Change is not easy, and wounds are not easy to heal. And so what we see at the end of the month is, although you're working very hard, you still feel like you're losing a certain amount of maybe yourself, because in trying not to be selfish all the time, it means that you will lose. You will lose out. You win some, you lose some. And so the cards of the outcome are saying, hey, you're going to lose some things, which is fine. It's balanced. You win some, you lose some. Some employees are going to be happy. Some employees won't be very happy. Maybe your spouse will be happy, but then you won't be 100% happy. You know what I mean? So you'll feel like you've lost something, but I will tell you, you're not losing anything. You're just being more humane. So Aries, this month, and actually, at the bottom of the card we see here, the King of Pentacles. When you learn how to value others, the way that you value yourself, this is it. You're moving at the top of the pile. You're going to make more money than you've ever made before because your employees are going to stick with you. Your spouse is going to stick with you because you're valuing them. You're going to be at the top of the pile now. You're going to have a relationship that is more fruitful for both people and for you. The more you give to a woman, the more you give to a man, the more they give back to you. Well, unless the person has obviously a psychological issue. And even then, you have to come from a place of self-love before you can love anybody else. And when you love yourself, when somebody is behaving in a way that seems abusive, you're able to walk away and move on to something more equal to your standing and your consciousness. So Aries, in summary, you're moving forward and you're looking at the long term. You have decisions to make about ways that you can change the way you're dealing with others. And it's really hard for you because you've been hurt in the past. And it's hurting you that you're hurting others because you were a victim. But you have all these different options of people that you're dealing with and people that can come into your life, and different options of ways that you can change the way you've been dealing with people. And you're working very hard at changing. It's not easy. You're learning how to be strong. You're scared of getting hurt again. And you will feel like you're losing when you're not being ultimately selfish all the time. But in the end, you'll be gaining strong relationships and less employee turnover. So take care, Aries. Thanks for sticking with me. I hope to see you in May, June, July, April. And take care. Please like, comment, subscribe. Love you. Bye.